So here we have it. 9 points up for grabs. 3 automatic promotion spots still available, and possibly 3 of the most important matches in the history of Boreham Wood. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 41 of One Team, One Dream, Into the Woods. My name is James, and today's episode is an end of the season, hopefully spectacular, as I try and fit all 3 of the final games into this episode. Firstly, we face 5th place Grimsby, who are the spot above us in the playoffs. We then face mid-table Carlisle, followed by Forest Green. The key goal of this episode: win as many points as we can. Nothing is guaranteed in this episode. We could drop down, in theory, as far as 9th or 10th and completely out of the playoffs altogether. We could jump up as high as first in the table and go up automatically as champions. Obviously the latter is very unlikely, but for how up and down this season has been, anything could happen. So I'm not going to delay too much. We have a couple of bits of news before we get into the match. In terms of the schedule, we only played 1 match since the last episode. It was a disappointing 2-1 loss away at Cambridge. Cambridge, who now sit above us in the table in 4th spot. They jumped from outside the playoffs, completely leapfrogged everyone up into 4th spot. That shows you how close it is at the moment. Frustratingly, a game that even if we'd have got a point, would have pushed up as far as 4th. If we'd have won, we'd have come as far as 2nd. And the number of times we've had opportunities this season to just to take these automatic promotion spots and run away with them. And you know what? No team has dominated this season and has taken advantage of what really could have been an easy run for a team in good form. Now, the only other piece of news, if you remember the last episode, we had a spate of injuries, I think about 3 or 4 in the end on one episode. Luckily, players like Huddart managed to get through that and actually came back for the second match. However, we've had another blow to our chances of actually getting promotion, and that is the injury to our captain, Ben Tricker, who has a lower back stress fracture. He got injured the day before the Cambridge game and is going to be out for the next 6 to 7 weeks, which means even if we end up in the playoffs, he's going to miss those as well. We will not see him, unfortunately, until next season. But hopefully he'll be able to come back fighting for a spot next season, especially when we have a good centre-back option coming in the summer. So with those 2 bits of news out of the way, let's get into the match. I'm hoping we'll also have something to fight for by the time we get to the 3rd match of today's episode. But firstly, we have to get past Grimsby, who I noticed in the stats we have actually lost the last 3 times we've played them. So this is going to be a difficult one. For this game, though, we have Huddart in goal, a back 4 of Devine, Thomas, Kirk and Alabiosu. Thomas coming in for the injured Ben Tricker. A diamond of McDonnell, Anabai, Mundo and Robson. McDonnell coming in for Rossiter. I've really wanted a bit of experience at the back, and McDonnell has been with us for a very long time at this point. So hopefully we'll be able to take up the mantle in the ball-winning midfielder role. And then up front we have Fagan and Crossdale. It's baffling to me that Fagan and Crossdale are the secondary partnership in this team. I thought they were going to absolutely dominate this season, but Yeats came in and he ran with the opportunity when Fagan was injured. And so it's just a shame the fact that we're not going to be able to see Yeats try and battle with Taylor Crossdale for top goal scorer of the season. But it's definitely a nice position to be in, to have one of our main goal scorers out injured and still be able to bring on a decent striker in terms of Fagan. And we have a highlight here on 1 minute. Grimsby with a ball, with a throw in out wide. Clifton into Pozo, who's in loads of space, to Finney, to Clampin. Are we not marking any of these players? Whipped all the way back out to Watson, who's in loads of space. Chip back in again, and that was so easy. We didn't get anywhere near any of their players there. Every player that touched that ball was in loads of space when they received it. Watson was in there again, and in the centre, is that Kirk or is that Grant? That's Kirk. Kirk doing a terrible job of defending there. I don't want to see it again, but that is an awful start to the game. But we have a throw in now with Alabiosu almost immediately. Can we get back straight away? Robson brings the ball down to Adebayi, to Devine. See, they're not giving us any space at all, and Devine has lost the ball, and now Grimsby are going to come forward Thompson luckily is paying attention out wide to Fagan. Fagan's in a little bit of space. Whipton's looking for Crossdale. Crossdale puts it just over the top. That was an opportunity to try and draw them back. But not a great start so far, with Grimsby scoring from their first opportunity in the game. We have a defensive free kick here with Alabiosu, who hoofs it forward, only to find a Grimsby player. Williams now bringing the forward for Grimsby, looking for a little bit of space. He's able to run straight across the pitch. No one's putting a tackle in for him. He's gone past him twice there. Mundell put in 2 very weak tackles. Luckily, Huddart was paying attention. At this point with this loss, we are now down to 7th in the table. And Grimsby have another throw-in. Mundell manages to clear it though this time. Nobody there though for us. Grimsby get the ball back with Clifton to Pozzo. If they score from this, we're going to have to go not only positive, maybe even attacking, because 2-0 down, even this early on in the game, spells the end of the road for us. But Devine with a brilliant header to Fagan. Can he turn his man? Yes, he can. He's in a little bit of space, trying to bring it forward. Goes past the poor tackle to Crossdale. Crossdale needs to get it on target. Come on, Crossdale. We've got another Grimsby throw-in. Alabiosi clears it this time. This time we do manage to find a Boreham Wood player. Alabiosi to put it through to Fagan. Fagan is through. He's past his man. He's in the penalty area. And that is one of the worst shots I think I've seen this season. Really and truly, Grimsby have taken the only opportunity that either team has had, but we handed it to them on a silver platter. We have a throw-in here with Alabiosu to McDonald, and encourage the players as this highlight is going on to Crossdale, to Robson, to Adebayi. This is looking more promising. To Fagan, we're building something from the back. To Devine out wide. Can you whip across the centre? He can. Finds head. Crossdale brings down to Fagan. Fagan puts it in for his 15th goal of the season. And on the almost a 58-minute mark, we draw level. Grimsby 1, Boreham Wood 1. Lovely little bit of football. I said this is one of the first times we look like we're actually building from the back. Devine with a brilliant whipped cross in the centre. Taylor Crossdale brings it down for his partner Fagan, who puts it in. And if that brings the start of the turnaround in this game, and we go on to get promoted in this league, remember this moment. We have so Grimsby have a free kick here with Jones on 62 minutes. Finley brings it forward. Kirk misses the ball, and the ball is in the back of the net. I mean, Kirk's getting a fine after this. Kirk is responsible for both of those goals. And this is not... I've only just finished saying, remember this moment, and it has completely punched me in the gut. Right, let's make some changes. Kirk's coming off. He's had an awful game. He's getting a fine because he's been disgraceful in this game. With Tricker on the injury list, I needed Kirk to step up and he just hasn't. Let's push Robson into the Mazzala role. Let's take Mundell off and bring on Lewis. Yet again this season, the strikers have got the positive ratings and are doing their part. And it's the defence that is letting us down. That's going to change in the summer. But we've got a long way to go until that point. Hopefully, these substitutions are going to encourage the players again, make a little bit of difference. We're going to go attacking as well because we may as well go all out. If we lose against Grimsby, I mean, it's 3 points between us and Rochdale at the moment. With 2 games to go, you got to think that might possibly be it for us. But we win the ball back. McDonald with a brilliant tackle. Unfortunately, you can only find Pozzo. Fagan, I think, tries to come back to get the ball, but Alabiosu this time manages to clear it. To Crossdale, through to Fagan. Fagan's one-on-one. He's gone past his man. He's got 2, though, flanking him. He pops it back to McDonald. McDonald from range. McDonald hits the post. What a moment that would have been for Adam McDonald, who's basically been sat on the sidelines for almost the entire season, to come on in such a game. But Crossdale's got the ball in the penalty area. He tries to put it past the goalkeeper, but it is a poor pass and we have a corner. But what a moment that would have been for McDonald to score at this moment. But unfortunately hits the post. McDonald, though, with the corner, whips into the centre. It's cleared by Grimsby. Devine now has the ball and that ends the highlight. Right, I'm going to take Alabiosu off. Going to bring on Hosanna for the last few minutes. At the very least, it brings on some fresh legs down that right-hand side. Let's encourage again. Let's go very attacking. Let's hope we can get something. And I don't think it is. The time is ticking down. And that could be it. We've been let down by our defence again. I'm not happy with the performance out there. Defenders in particular, furious with their defensive work. I'm going to be having some words with these players between the games, because even though we're still in the playoffs, only by goal difference. Right, not a great start, but that's the most difficult game out of the 3. Hopefully we can get 2 wins from the next 2 matches, and the rest of the teams around us do us a little bit of a favour. Here we go, match number 2. The only little bits of news are I fined Kirk half a week's wages, which he accepted, and told him that it was a disgraceful performance, and he has promised to make amends for this game and moving forward. And I've made 1 or 2 changes to the starting 11. So Hosanna has come in for Adebiosu, who drops to the bench. Rossiter has come in for McDonnell, who drops to the bench. And Hazeman has come in for Adebayi, who also drops down to the bench. For this one, I think I'm going to go in with a positive mentality from the start. We have a highlight straight away after 2 minutes, and this is not how we wanted to start from last time, but luckily it's us with the ball this time. Robson with the ball. After Taylor Crossdale has brought it down, Robson's in a little bit of space. He goes back to Hosanna. A little bit of 1-2. Hosanna chips over to Crossdale, who's in loads of space in the penalty area. It looked like maybe it was a little bit of a difficult angle for him. Unfortunately, he doesn't even hit the target, and it goes wide of the post. Right, Carlisle have a goal kick on 16 minutes. And Thompson misses the header there. Riley is in the penalty area. Devine puts in a poor tackle, and we have given them a penalty. Is this how this is gonna go down? Are we going to just completely fall apart here? Charters with the penalty. It's a pretty good penalty. Huddart gets absolutely nowhere near it. And on 17 minutes, we are 1-0 down and losing 2 out of the 3 games. And at this point, you got to think, we're down to 9th. We're dropping out the playoffs altogether. We have a highlight here. Throw in out wide. Whipped into the centre. Looking for Taylor Crossdale. Crossdale needs to get that on target. Come on, Crossdale. I've not seen that guy hit the target for several games now. Carlisle with the ball. Throw in on the right hand side even. Whipped in centre. Kurt manages to clear it. It's doing 100% better than they did in the last game. But Carlisle still have the ball. Out on the left-hand side with Charters, whipped into the centre. Hazeman managed to bring it down for Robson. Robson hoofs it forward. Taylor Crossdale, nice 1-2 with Mundell. Taylor Crossdale is now through. Come on, Crossdale, put it on target. Puts it into Fagan. Fagan hits the defender and the ball is cleared. What is going on? Just before half-time, there's a free kick to Carlisle. Kurt manages to collect the loose ball though. Can he do anything with it? Don't do anything stupid, that's all I'm going to say. Back to Huddart as probably the safest option at this point. Huddart hoofs it forward. Looking for Robson, can't find him. Managed to find Mundell though with Rossiter. Rossiter with looking for a ball forward for Fagan. Unfortunately, Jatsa had a bit too much on it. And scoots along into the arms of the Carlisle goalkeeper. Carlisle now come forward with the ball. Tanner in loads of space. No one is watching this space out here. Hosanna manages to clear the ball as far as Devine. We now come forward this time, hopefully. Devine almost puts it out. 1-2 with Thompson. Whip forward looking for Fagan. Manages to find Robson. To Mundell. To Taylor Crossdale, who's pushed out really wide by the poor pass there. Crossdale to Robson in the middle. Robson smashes it into the top corner for only his 4th goal of the season, but on 43 minutes, as we did in the Grimsby game, we pull level. Hopefully this doesn't go the same way as the Grimsby game and we concede immediately, because that I think will be absolutely crushing. But as we just come into half-time, we have managed to pull this level and given ourselves an opportunity to try and stay within touching distance of the playoffs. At half-time, it's a very, very balanced game. More balanced, really, than it should be. I'm going to thrash my arms. I am far from pleased with what I'm seeing from this team. Not just today. Do we make any changes? That's the question. Kirk is having another poor game on a 6.4. I don't know what is up with him at the moment. He's one of the best players, supposed to be one of the best players in the side. I'm going to quickly retract the change I made at the start before the game started. I'm going to bring on Adebayi back into that role again. I'd feel more comfortable with a familiar face in that role. Do you know what? We're going to go attacking and we're just going to go for this and see how it goes. It is all or nothing now in this game. If we don't get a win from this game, we are pretty much done. I'm going to encourage the players. And straight away we have a highlight. Free kick with Huddart, who hoofs it forward. Fagan manages to lose his man. He manages to go past him in the penalty area. He's free. He puts it in. Fagan, Ricky Fagan, scores to put us 2-1 up against Carlisle. It may be on a life support machine, but Fagan has given life into our opportunity for promotion. He managed to turn his man. The defender this time for Carlisle was the one that missed the ball. Fagan took advantage of it and slots it home. That puts us up to 6th position now in the playoffs. Still within 2 points of automatic promotion. You've got to think it's probably going to be unrealistic at this point, but at the very least, if we're in the playoffs, we have a chance. Right, just coming up to 80 minutes on the clock. Let's make some substitutions. Mundell is knackered. So is Robson. Rossiter's on a 6.3. We'll bring on McDonald for him. That's 2 out of 3 of the changes I made that I'm now regretting. And why not? I may as well change all 3. Hosanna's on a 6.6 as well. Let's bring on Alabiosu on that right-hand side. Let's just completely reverse what I did at the start of this game. And I hate this game. He's been on 3 minutes. You don't play with your upper body. Unless he's having a heart attack. Or has several broken ribs. So it looks like we're going to be playing with 10 men for the last 8 or so minutes. And we have about 15 seconds left, and we have a highlight. Don't you dare do this, Football Manager. Luckily, we have the ball. Ball is with Devine to Adebayo, Chip forward to Mundell. Mundell was in the penalty area, takes a shot, and he hits the crossbar, he hits the post. I mean, we got the win, but that was far more stressful than it should have been. Yet again, the defence having a poor game. If I had anybody else to bring on for Kirk, I'd be benching him for the next game. I'm going to say good work to them. Not happy with their defensive work. Kirk seems demotivated. To be honest, Kirk, you're the problem. I don't know what he's got into his head over the last couple of games, but he needs to have a good hard look at himself in the mirror. It was fractured ribs. Okay, I'll let him off. Send him to a specialist. It's going to cost us £6,500, but to be honest, we are £1 million in debt. I doubt the £6,500 is going to make the slightest bit of difference. He's only out for 6 weeks though with fractured ribs. That is impressive recovery time. So let's look at the table. We have 1 game left to play, and it's against Forest Green at home. We're on 73 points. We are 1 point ahead of Scunthorpe and 2 points ahead of Yeovil. So if we win, we're in the playoffs, and all we got to hope is that 3 or 4 of the teams above us screw up. This is it. Final game of the season at home to Forest Green at Meadow Park. I've had a team meeting in between the 2 matches as well, just to try and take a bit of the pressure off of the guys. So I told them that promotion obviously wasn't expected from us at the start of the season, and there's an outside chance that we can get automatic promotion, but just go out, get the positive result, and we can hope for the best elsewhere. Everyone was happy with that except Yeats, who complained that I wasn't being optimistic enough, which I loved more than anything. It doesn't matter because he's not in the squad, he's out injured, but I love the fact he's got that enthusiasm and that wants to try and drive us forward, and maybe that's what we've been missing in the last couple of games. But we got a win in the last match. If we can get a win in this one, we can just hope that we get positive results from elsewhere. And so the team for the final match of the season, hopefully, but probably more than likely going to be the last one of the regular season, is Huddart in goal, a back four, Devine, Kirk, Thompson, Alabiosu, Rossiter, Adebayo, Mundell and Robson and the diamond in the centre, and then Fagan and Crossdale up front. Hopefully they can have a couple of good performances. Taylor Crossdale in particular was in the news for being up for player of the season, so he's definitely going to want to be showcasing his ability today to give himself the best chance of getting that. I'm going to pump the fists. Media have given them a lot of credit lately. Go out and give them a performance worthy of that. At the end of the day, I don't care how the performance comes in this game, as long as we get the win. Right, Forest Green have a throw-in with Wilson on the right side. What a nice 1-2. Easily managed to get past our player. Whipped into the centre. And Mulholland at the back post. He just wandered away from Alabiosu. I presume that was Alabiosu marking him at the back. And for the 3rd game in a row, we have gone behind really, really easily. That was such an easy 1-2. Loads of space. Whipped to the back post. Alabiosu, no idea where he was going. Not following his player. And we've gone 1-0 behind yet again. Do you know what? We're going to have to go attacking. Encourage the players. Huddart with a goal kick. It is now all or nothing in this game. Ball hoofed forward. Taylor Crossdale, though, from the goal kick in the penalty area. The Forest Green player manages to get back and put a tackle in. Thomas for Forest Green with the goal kick. Hoofed forward. Devine manages to clear it only as far as another Forest Green player. Allen this time with the ball out wide. Whipped into the centre. Huddart, though, manages to clutch the ball to his chest. Can we do a counter-attack from their attack here? Huddart with a big ball forward, trying to find Fagan. Can't, unfortunately. Does manage to find Mundell from the clearance. Mundell and Roster have a nice 1-2 with Robson to Adebayi to Taylor Crossdale, who's out wide. Trying to find a little bit of space. He's going to go back to find Alabiosu. Whipped into the centre. Fagan, unfortunately, is being marked out of the game. And Mulholland, who scored the first goal, is now coming forward in loads of space. He has got a swarm of Boreham Wood players around him, though. Why is nobody putting a tackle in? Tanser whips the ball to the back post to Allen. Allen, luckily, doesn't get it on target. Right, Forest Green have another throw-in on the right-hand side. Wilson manages to puts it into the box, but Kirk manages to clear it. Forest Green yet again have the ball. We should be dominating more. Maybe, do you know what? Maybe it's my tactic. Maybe we cannot play counter-attacking football. But I've seen this works many times this season, but the ball's whipped in. Huddar manages to collect it. Hopefully we can showcase our counteracting football now. Huddar hoofs it forward, only to a Forest Green player. I think we're going to need to come off this. We have to play something on the ground, I think. Kirk with the ball forward this time to Fagan, to Robson, to Crossdale. Crossdale goes past his man. He is through in the penalty area, takes a shot, but he's so far wide. Thomas easily manages to collect the ball. Right, I'm going to give this a try for a little bit. We have switched to a vertical tiki-taka. We've played this tactical style previously, but of a different formation. Maybe this is what we need to do to try and ebb the constant pressure that we're getting from Forest Green at the moment. We'll give it at least the rest of this half, and we'll see how we get on. Coming into half-time, we are 1-0 down yet again. We've had slightly better possession and 2 shots on target to their 1, but their 1 shot on target was enough to give them the lead. Far from pleased. I'm sick and tired of saying that as a half-time team talk. We have a highlight throw in here with Devine. Looking for Fagan, manages to find him. Whips it into the centre. No one in the centre because Fagan should be the one in the centre looking to collect the ball. To Adebayi this time, to Rossiter. Nice 1-2 with Adebayi. To Devine, to Fagan. This is some nice football. Devine with a shot from distance. I kind of wish that was a whip ball into the centre, but he tried to take a shot instead. Let's make some substitutions. Right, Mundell's having a terrible game, so we'll push Robson back. Going to bring on Lewis. Both our strikers are playing poorly today as well. But to be honest, I just don't think they're getting the feed from the players behind them. Right, for those counting, this can be the third tactical style of the match. We're now going route 1. We've got 15 minutes left to play. We just need to hoof the ball forward and hope we can get people to it. I'm actually going to push Lewis back. Going to push Robson forward, and we're going to bring on Daly. He wants to play as a pressing forward, so we'll let him play in the centre there. Lewis is also an attacking Mazzala, so hopefully he'll be able to fill this space here. Let's push the guys on as wing-backs as well, because if we concede another goal, it doesn't matter at this point. We're out of the playoffs by the looks of the table if we lose, so we need to get at least a draw. And we have a highlight on 86 minutes. Fagan with the ball out wide from a throw, whipped in the centre to Taylor Crossdale, who gets his 32nd goal of the season. Martel, Taylor Crossdale may have just saved our playoff hopes. Throw in from Devine to Fagan, who was out wide, whipped into the centre to Taylor Crossdale, managed to get just an inch of space away from his marker, smashes it into the top corner to make it Boreham Wood 1, Forest Green 1, and given us an opportunity to hopefully at least stay in the playoffs. We're up to 5th in the table, and I've just noticed as well, if we'd have won that match, we'd have gone up. Is it the case? If we'd have won, we'd have gone up. Because Swindon lost to Colchester, Wickham drew with Cambridge, the door was open and we just wandered past it. My next video on this channel is actually going to be my 100th. I was hoping it was going to be a promotion spectacular and was going to be able to celebrate going up to League 2, but now it's going to be the playoffs. And after that, I don't know if we've got it in us to win. I'm going to have to reconsider the formation. The formation is too passive. I don't think it's not giving us enough opportunity. I assumed playing that kind of counter-attacking formation would allow us to be quite defensively strong, but we've been so weak at the back. And I think we've missed Tricker in the last couple of games. See, the board have an expectation that we should be playing possession-based football. Maybe this is the mistake I'm making. Maybe I've gone too defensive with it. And we're not very good at defending, so it's probably a bad idea. Boreham Wood rescue late draw. That should be the tagline for our season. I should be so happy that we've hit the playoffs, but I feel so deflated after throwing away an opportunity to go up automatically. Well, once more into the playoffs, dear friends. Well, another episode of up and downs, and the season is still not over yet. But if you did enjoy that, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified of brand new FM21 videos, including our third attempt at trying to get through the League 2 playoffs. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.